Thanks for joining us on another episode of The Grind. Here's your host, JB.
Hey, thanks, Pierre. We're back with another weekly update, and Head Coach JohnMark Bentley would join us in just a minute. Before he does, like us, share us, invite your friends, your neighbors, tag whoever you think might be interested. That's how we help get the word out there. Spread the good word about what is Appalachian State Wrestling, and get an update from Coach JohnMark. Let's go check in with Coach and see how he's doing. Coach, how are things in the Bentley house tonight?
Oh, it's going good. It's going good, JB. It's just end of a long week of school for the kids and work for myself and the wife. So we're just kind of trying to relax a little bit, get ready for a good Saturday.
Yeah, it sounds like things have cleaned up for the wrestling team for the most part with what you guys were dealing with last time we talked last week. Sounds like the football team's been tagged a little bit, though. I heard this afternoon or seen some tweets about it. How are things going with the wrestling program in general right now?
It's going good. It's going good, Jeremy. We actually just finished week 2 of having our guys back in the wrestling room. And, even though we've had to do it in small groups and, keeping guys in pods or with the same partners, it's just really been good to have, get 2 good full weeks of training under our belt. And, starting to see the guys really kind of respond to the training and, looking good in the weight room, looking strong. Conditioning's been great. And then was really, pretty impressed with our guys today in the wrestling room. We had 2 good workouts today, and starting to get excited and kind of get that, that little bit of, nerve feeling. Feeling like competition's just right around the corner. So it's a good feeling.
Yeah, all the freshman classmen probably getting the nervousness out of them now. They know what to expect, kind of getting into routines a little bit. Not too much because you guys are still pretty separated, not really training as a complete team from what I hear. So I'm sure that it's probably nice to see those underclassmen getting a little bit more comfortable, getting in that routine. That's got to be a big change right now, and not just for them, but for you, right? I mean, you've probably got a routine that you've done for, a decade, right? I mean, the same. You may tweak it a little bit, but I'm sure your philosophy and in the start of the season and the train up is not what we're doing right now. You've obviously had to make some major shifts to what your program used to look like. So I'm sure hopefully you're kind of getting settled in as well. You got a completely new staff. I know we had Coach Diabe was with us last season, but outside of that and really the coaching roles, that's 2 new guys that's taken on primary roles for you. So hopefully you're getting settled in for us as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, like you mentioned, it's been completely different than any preseason I've ever had. We came to school in August, and for the first week of school, I couldn't even really have any contact with my guys. So we didn't do anything the first week of school, no team meetings, no conditioning, lifting, anything. And then about a week and a half later, we started just a little bit of conditioning. And then obviously, we had the cluster, and then that shut us down for 2 more weeks. And then so we just have kind of gotten back to training. But yeah, it's been completely different. I mean, like you said, I mean, obviously I've changed a few things over the years, but typically, our preseason is pretty similar. The things we do and the timetable and getting our guys prepared and ready for the competition season has been the same for as long as I've been the head coach here. And so this year, honestly, it's day to day, Jeremy, to be honest. It's day to day and week by week. My philosophy right now is put the most work in we can each and every day, whatever that may look like, whatever we can do. Because it's hard to plan for next week because you don't know what the restrictions might be, with having to do so many groups and just one-on-one partners, it's really hard to plan way in advance. So, my philosophy has just been each and every day that we have the ability to train, we're trying to get the most out of that day we can. Try to get the most out of it we can. And then, I think if we can do that on a consistent basis, even though the path might be a little different this year, hopefully we're going to be in the same spot when it comes down to competition time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely got to be a change of pace for everybody that's involved. So what's the preseason looking like? Or have you been able to commit to any type of preseason competition? I know usually during the summer you guys do a little bit of individual competition, but have you guys been able to commit to anything yet? Is there anything in the works? I mean, I know we've talked a little bit about what the season may look like, but any type of preseason competition that we may be able to talk about or hopefully look forward
not
to?
really. I mean, as of right now, the recommendation from the National Wrestling Coach Association has been a self-imposed delayed start, which would push the start of competition to January. So, as of right now, we don't have really any preseason competitions on the books. I do have, possibly a couple of our individuals are going to be going out to the U.S. Open out in Iowa in 2 weeks. And so we've got 2 wrestlers that might be going out for that. There's a small chance at the U23s we might get some guys out to that tournament in I think it's in Nebraska, maybe in November. But that's still kind of, all up in the air and trying to determine that. So, and honestly, I had our complete schedule finished, but it included matches in the first semester. And since now we're looking to move everything to start in January, now I'm scrambling trying to schedule our non-conference matches, getting them rescheduled and, get a schedule put together.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge for you, I'm sure. We've got head coach JohnMark Bentley. If you want to join us here in the Facebook group, on the Facebook page, you can come over here and chime in. We're not going to get too long-winded tonight, but if you have any questions or comments, you're welcome to chime in over here, and we'll get to those here shortly. Coach, what's so what is your expectation? What are you anticipating? What do you think is going to happen with the season? As you see it now?
I think there's a strong possibility that we start competing in January, sometime around, just shortly right after the new year. And I really could see this season being a condensed 8 to 10 week schedule, and most likely will be all dual meets until the conference tournament. I don't think there'll be any individual tournaments or anything like that. I think that, it's very likely that we'll have probably 10 or 11 dual meets, and then we'll compete in the conference tournament and then hopefully, carry on to the national tournament, but that's just my best guess at this point. I mean, obviously a lot of things could change between now and then, in regards to testing and protocols and all that kind of stuff. But if I had to put a guess on it, I would say that's my best guess to what the season's going to look like.
Yeah, that's, that'll be better than nothing, but like you talked about last time, right? The actual competition of wrestling between 2 individual wrestlers, there's not a lot of exposure outside those 2 individuals. So, and it's not like not like there's a great danger to spreading it within the team after the competition. So it's good to hear that you guys got kind of those safeguards in place and already looking forward to that. But I think there's a good sign, right? There's a good sign that football is being successful. Football is being played successfully. I think that there's conversations about basketball that are happening as well. So I think a good sign for wrestling is that there is competition that's taking place. As a matter of fact, we've seen a couple of these leagues, the Big Ten and the Pac-12 in particular, that said they just weren't going to play this season, have now changed course. So I think everything is heading in our favor to be able to watch wrestling compete this season. May not be the season that we're used to, like you said, but I think we'll get some wrestling in, and I'm definitely looking forward to checking that out at the varsity gym. So, Coach, you've got 2 weeks now of watching some wrestlers, watching some new guys come into the wrestling room. Who's standing out? Any updates to what we talked about last week? Any confirmation? What comes to mind with the individuals?
Well, I think honestly, if I kind of look at just a couple of our individuals that returned from last year that have really impressed me this week in our training. Obviously, Paul Carson comes to my mind. I know I mentioned him to you last week, but he had a great day of training today. He looked like a different wrestler in the wrestling room today than he did, 6-7 months ago. You can tell the summer that he's put in, and his confidence has grown. He's matured as a wrestler, as an athlete, and he really looks good. I was very impressed watching him train today. Another one that's kind of under the radar is Anthony Brito. And Anthony could be, that dark horse on our team that is kind of a little bit of kind of under the radar, but not really. He had a lot of success last year, a lot of great wins, and we expect him to step in for us and really, prove to be, really a solid spot in that lineup for us at 141. So, those two guys probably have kind of been, very, I don't know, I'd say very, they've caught my attention this week, watching those guys train and, kind of seeing where they're at physically. Their body looks good. They're fit, strong, and, really look great on the mat today. So those are two guys that I think you could probably, put it on your, in the back of your mind that those are going to be two guys that are going to be really fun to watch this year.
Yeah, for you to say that about Paul Carson coming off the season, I was able to watch him last year, and that is saying something because he was a handful as it was last year. So to see that or to hear that is that's pretty exciting. I'm definitely looking forward to watching Paul compete again this year. And like I said, he was doing well last year, so I can imagine what it's like to see him out there now. How about the new coaching staff? How are the new guys fitting in? They fitting in like family yet? You get Ian up on Howard's knob yet? Have you taken him out on some of your runs yet?
No, Ian hasn't done any runs yet, but him and Randall are both doing awesome. I really think they're going to be a great fit, great addition to our staff. They've both done a really good job these last 2 weeks when we've been training. I think they're a good personality fit as well. I can already tell that, the more time that Coach Miller and I are around each other, that our philosophies are very similar. And so I think that makes it easy to work with. I know our guys are responding extremely well to him. And I can't say enough great things about Randall. Randall was an awesome student athlete for us here, but he's really thriving. He's doing a great job. He was, one of the main reasons that our golf benefit this past weekend was such a huge success. He hustled and really, helped do a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff to raise a lot of money for us this past weekend. And I think he's going to be a real asset moving forward for this program. And, not to let any news out of get out ahead of any news, but I'll be probably announcing next week the addition of a volunteer assistant as well that we'll be bringing on to the staff. And I'll make sure that, you and I sync up when we're ready to make that announcement and you can promote him as well. But I'm excited about adding him to our staff as well.
Yeah, that'll be great. I'm looking forward to that one. I can imagine who's going to come up with those ones. So, Coach, you said a little bit about the golf tournament. How was that? Give us a little update on that. I stopped out there for a little bit, and that course was full.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I can't say enough great things about all of our patrons and the people who sponsored our golf event from, you know, the whole sponsors, the event sponsors, the golfers who actually came and played in the tournament, everyone that participated in our silent auction. I mean, it was a very, very successful event. We didn't have the best weather, but we had a lot of good people out there, and I know they were happy to support a great cause. You know, but I was just really pleased. I mean, I think this year we really surpassed our goal of what we wanted to raise from the golf benefit, and you know that's a testament to, you know, the kind of support that we have for this program. And so just thankful for that. Thankful we were able to get it off last weekend with no real problems. And you know, it was a really successful event. Got to connect with a lot of alumni, a lot of fans, and you know, raise a little bit of money for our program.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Coach, we're not going to keep you too much longer this evening. We said we were going to make it quick for you. We're planning on, we talked about this, trying to get some consistency in here and getting you in front of the camera on a weekly basis to give us a little bit of update. What haven't we covered that you want to talk about? Is there anything out there that hanging out, anything coming up that you want to chat about before we get off here this evening?
I think the biggest thing, man, is just, you know, the people that follow our program or maybe that are wrestling fans. I think that, you know, I think it's important to kind of understand where these student athletes are at, you know, in their career. I mean, it's been really difficult for our guys. I mean, you got to look back to last March when they had put in a ton of work. We had the most NCAA qualifiers in the program history, and then just have that opportunity taken away from them in mid-March. And then they've kind of been in a holding pattern for the last 6 months, trying to train, do the best they can to stay in shape and stay motivated. And then, you know, you're even looking at now this season being delayed, you know, but I am, you know, I think my heart goes out to not just our wrestlers, but all student athletes right now. It's just a really difficult time. And I know that they're all itching to get back and do what they love doing and competing. And, you know, I know that it's going to be, you know what, I guess something that we will not take for granted ever again, you know, just assuming we're always going to be able to compete and, you know, without any, you know, real problems or anything like that. So, you know, I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to the day when we get to, you know, step on a scale again with our guys and you know, step across the mat from a team and compete. So.
Yeah, it definitely. You know, and it's obviously those guys have had a lot more decisions on their plate than what the average person even thinks about. I mean, all the way from deferring their entire season and opting out of the season to try to wrestle or extend their career a little bit under more normal circumstances. So it's been, I would say that, you know, these guys are definitely under some extraordinary conditions for sure. And as you said, there's 3 of them that are, you know, that had the shot to go to NCAAs. That's not guaranteed this season. Obviously, you and I here sitting here tonight think those 3 have a very great chance to go back and do it again this season. But it's not guaranteed. I mean, wrestling is definitely, you got to go out there and do it and prove yourself. And, you know, nobody wants to talk about it, but injuries always happen. And, you know, that is something that every student athlete has to face. And to come back and do it again and have the season started and to not be able to compete at that level has definitely got to be frustrating for these guys. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, I mean, we keep harping on, you know, our core values, our core belief and value system. You know, one of our biggest core beliefs, we talk about delayed gratification. You know, and that's, you know, something that's very important in the sport of wrestling, you know, anytime, regardless of, you know, you're being in a pandemic or anything like that. But, you know, our guys we got to keep coming back to those core values that, hey, man, you're putting in work that you might not be able to reap the benefits of for, you know, who knows when. You know, but just being committed to that process, you know, and, you know, like this week in conditioning, I really kind of hammer on to my guys, like, you know, kind of the theme, what you're just talking about is like, I don't care how good we've been as a team the last couple of years or how good some of our individuals have been. We got to earn it right now. Like, I don't believe anything, you know, anything in this life is given. You got to earn it, you know, and the only thing you deserve is what you earn. Like, nobody owes you anything. Like, if you're sitting around thinking somebody's just going to hand you success or hand you a title, then you're going to be sadly disappointed. The only thing you deserve is what you earn, and that's kind of the philosophy we keep, preaching to our guys. And this is a whole new year, a whole new set of circumstances, a whole, it's just everything's different. So we're going to have to go out and really, prove ourselves each and every time we get the opportunity to compete.
Yeah. I would imagine the first duel that you guys get to step back on that mat again, a big challenge for you is going to be able to keep emotions in balance, right? Ensure that they don't get out there and go all out in the first couple of minutes with all of that anticipation that they have built up, and save some for those, the late in the third period type situations. So you got a bunch of young men that are used to going after and getting it. And obviously after not being in competition for a while, they're going to be itching to get back on that mat. And I tell you what, I hope one thing. I hope I'm one of the few that are able to be inside Varsity Gym or wherever you guys may be wrestling when that day comes again, because it will be, you're going to see 10 guys step on the mat to represent Appalachian State Wrestling that's going to be looking forward to this day for a while now, a long while, almost a year, really, I guess 9 months to be exact, by the time we possibly get back on the mat again. So it's it'll be a great level of competition to watch, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
With that said, season tickets, Coach, are they selling season tickets yet for you guys?
We will be coming out with those probably in the next couple of weeks. I'm trying to finalize our schedule right now. And once we get those home contests finalized, we'll have those season ticket forms sent out and available to the public.
Awesome. We will make sure that we let everybody know when you have those season tickets, folks. I don't have any idea what they're going to be this year, but I will tell you what, there's no better value in season tickets than the wrestling season tickets. You will see some competition and level of competition there in the Varsity Gym or wherever they roll those mats out this season that you can't see anywhere else this close to Western North Carolina. It is amazing. The atmosphere in Varsity Gym is second to none. I tell this to everybody that I'm a season ticket holder for the football game, and I will tell you the energy inside of Varsity Gym for a wrestling duel, meet, match, tournament, whatever it may be, is second to none. It is outstanding to be there, and I'm looking forward to being back. Coach, we definitely appreciate your time tonight. We look forward to getting back together with you next week sometime. Maybe we can catch you in a wrestling room or in the facilities one of these weeks and chat with you there. But definitely appreciate your time tonight, Coach, and hope you have a great evening.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot.
This episode of The Grind is proudly sponsored by Mountaineer Works. Mountaineer Works, owned and operated by Appalachian State alum and athletics photographer Chad W. Mitchell. Chad designs and builds officially licensed, unique cornhole board sets, and today I give my all plaques that will surely rock your tailgate, party, backyard barbecue, office, or creative space. They're sculptured smooth in the wood lab, fire-coated at over 3,000 degrees, and paint dyed in the Cornhole Conservatory to complement their one-of-a-kind grain, then App State branded. The best part is you choose from a set of pre-approved color layouts and App State logos to personally design your cornhole boards, and today I give my all plaque. Mix it up or match it up, you can't go wrong. Show your Mountaineer pride as these make solid gifts for deserving folks. Find Mountaineer Works on Facebook and Instagram to place your order or ask a question.
This has been a production by Yosef Media.